I want to open up the heart space today, so around the chest, the side, and the back of the heart to give us more access to freedom, to joy, to laughter, to play, to those things that we can do in the next couple days, which hopefully we'll invite ourselves to do, is just to lighten up a little bit, so to do some really fun activities or do anything that makes you laugh or fills your heart up. So we'll kind of clear out any kind of emotional space around there, any kind of heaviness. The last few days, I don't know if you guys have felt it, but it's just been kind of intense. There might have been a lot of like emotions going up and down, the mind kind of being crazy. So whether you felt that or not, don't worry about it. We're just going to clear kind of and lighten up the energy. So kind of just working with that. If you do notice in the practice today, things coming up, so emotions, thoughts, anything that you feel is disturbing at all, the way that I've been guided to process that is just to kind of not pay it too much attention, just kind of notice it. You can just kind of name it. Oh, there's frustration, there's whatever it is, and then just say, I'm ready to release it, and just kind of assume that as you keep moving, you'll release it right out. Okay, so find a comfortable place to sit, and we'll take some 5 or 6 nice grounding breaths. So breathing in and then breathing out. Yeah, a couple more. One more. And then taking your left hand behind your head, we're going to take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, a side stretch over to your right. So really breathing into that left side heart space. We're going to breathe in and we're going to breathe out. We're going to turn and let that elbow be a counterweight to open the back of the left side of the chest. Inhaling, tipping up and back. Exhaling, releasing down. So we're just kind of moving at the upper thoracic spine. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more. Big breaths, letting your neck be easy. So hold on to that head with a grip that lets your head relax. And then one more time. And then exhaling, release. And then right hand holds the side of the head. Kind of wrap that elbow slightly forward. Breathe in. And then exhale, breathe to the left. And then we're going to inhale and then exhale. So turn and let that elbow be heavy. And then inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Really holding onto the head, letting the head feel supported. So the movement can be more around the heart space. Kind of imagining a 360 degrees kind of circle around the heart space that we're opening. One more breath. And then releasing it down. Okay, I'm going to move on back to my mat. If you're already at your mat, I want you to grab a block if you have it. If you don't have a block, you can roll up a blanket, or you can use just your mat or whatever you have. We're going to line up the block so that's right at where you'd have like a sports bra or a kind of a heart rate monitor. So you're going to feel a little bit of kind of tenderness maybe right there at that point. So we're going to wrap those elbows forward. So I've got a pretty firm grasp in my head. As I inhale, I'm going to lean on back and open to the elbows. As I exhale, I'll pull the ribs towards my hips, and I'm going to not pull on my neck, but give a nice little stretch to the back of the neck. Inhale. Exhale. Kind of lengthen through the tailbone, feeling the core start to engage. Inhale. Exhale. Really imagining moving energy around the front and the back of the heart space. So if you want to even breathe out through your mouth, you can do that. It kind of really pumps some energy out, or maybe a deep breath in. 2 more. And then take a big lean back and just stay for a moment. Maybe there's a little bit of side swaying that happens. Kind of noticing if there's any tender spots back there. And then exhaling it all the way out, and even staying here and kind of rolling side to side a bit. And then as you're ready, we're going to use your hands to continue sitting all the way up so that you don't kind of tweak your neck or anything. Block comes up and you're going to come all the way down to your back, and now just kind of feeling that heart space, the back of the heart. Knees together, feet wide, arms go up, and then exhale, stretch. See if you can soften the back of the heart and the shoulder blades towards the mat. So if you feel them kind of elevate or the rib cage lift, let the rib cage feel heavy, even if your arms are hovering and they're not touching. Take some deep breaths to stretch from the armpits out through the fingers. And let your knees get heavy as they release forward. Take a couple more breaths. Nice. And then letting the hands come back by the hips. We'll open up the legs and you can do a little windshield wipering if you'd like. Just to give a little warmth through those hips. So fast or slow. And then the next couple breaths, coming to some stillness as we bring the knees in towards the chest. Again, allowing that low back to stretch, upper spine stretch. Then as you're ready, we're going to rock and roll ourselves up to a downward facing dog. So as you get into your down dog, if you want to move around, go ahead. Otherwise, find some stillness and just allowing yourself to broaden across the back of the heart space, the shoulder blades, as you wrap kind of the outer borders towards the sides of the chest. Broaden again now through the front side of your chest, around those collarbones. So you have both front and back side widening, dilating. And then reaching from the shoulders out through your hands. Then reaching the pelvis away from that action. Letting the neck feel soft and easy. 3 breaths here. And as you're ready, slowly walking towards the top of your mat. Take your time. And round the back as you bend the knees. So again, really kind of maybe accentuating a little rounding in the upper thoracic. Weighting through the heels, roll up nice and slow. Head, neck, and shoulders, a couple big rounds, shoulder rolls. And as you're ready, the arms are going to circle sweep as you reach up. Maybe they'll touch, maybe not. Exhale, forward fold. Long spine, inhale. Step on back with the right leg and take the right knee back. We're going to inhale, open the chest so that elbows will kind of reach forward a bit, and then exhale, forearms touch. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, lean a little further forward, round. Inhale, thoracic, spine lifts. Exhale. Couple more. You can breathe out through your mouth. Inhale. And this time, exhale, do an eagle bind. So left arm underneath the right if you can. And if that doesn't work, prayer works just fine. Now inhale, take a big lift here. So get a little lighter. And then exhale, you can either lean your left shoulder on your thigh or you can relax in between your thighs, maybe widening the legs a bit. Breathe in and out. And then as you're ready, we're going to come all the way up. So we're going to come up first with the arms, tuck your back toes under, and come into a lunge. So if you need to space your legs out a little differently, go ahead. Breathing in and breathing out. So I want you to really focus the breath to the back of the heart space. So letting those forearms reach forward, letting the elbows soften down. So you get the broadening action behind the heart. Broadening action of the collarbones. And then a lengthening of the arms away from the body. Take one more breath. You're going to look on forward, so find a focal point and then wrap your right leg across your left. And then sink. So I'm going to let my toes be a kickstand because I'm going to sit way back, as far back as I can, and then rest again, the elbows at the arms. Breathing in, breathing out. Really sit back so you can start to warm through those legs. Couple more breaths. And as you're ready, untangle the arms and the legs, sweep up. And on the exhale, forward fold. Long spine, inhale, step all the way back to downward facing dog. So go right in. Now just for a few cycles, you're gonna go super slow. You're gonna come into plank pose and then come into a side plank with your hand behind your head. And then one time, a little wrap down, just moving this upper spine, not the hips, come back up. Transition, side plank to the other side, hand behind your head, wrapping down, lifting up. And we'll do that 2 more times on each side. So nice and slow. You can always put your knee down. I want you to really focus on the breath work here. So not so much that you're making it really challenging, but that you can really feel your breath. And then last time on the second side. And then coming into plank pose. If you need to set your knees down for the first few rounds, do that. And then all the way to your belly. And then cobra with hovering hands. So let the hands hover, lift the legs if you want an extra challenge. Release all the way down, and then knees tuck up or lift or stay down, plank, downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Now as you're ready, you're gonna step the left leg forward between your hands, kind of look forward and gaze, and then exhale, fold it on. So just allow your upper half to drape a bit over your thighs, strong through those legs. So you can keep your hands rooted and grounded, or if you'd like to grab across your ankle and kind of root that front leg, kind of notice that. Let the head go, shake it out. And then step and fold forward, top of your mat. Long spine, inhale. Fold on your exhale, and all the way up to standing. Hands to the heart. Second side, arms stretch up. On the exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Then the left leg steps back, knee to the earth. Widen your stance to whatever you want, and then once again, inhale, open chest, exhale, open back of the heart. So I am kind of lifting up and back, and then lowering down and forward, staying in that lunge. Sigh if you need to. One more time, and then we're going to take that eagle bind. Should be the second side. If you can't remember, just do the one that's less habitual. Lift up for a moment, and then exhale. Again, you can rest elbow on thigh, or you can come in between for a little bit more challenge. You can kind of use that shoulder to kind of widen through your inner thigh if you like. Take a couple deep breaths, and the arms act as counterweights. Then when you're ready, go ahead and lift up. Stay with your arms if you can. Resituate your legs so as you tuck your back toes under, you can come right into a high lunge. Then holding here, I'm really pumping the breath. So I'm trying as much as I can to broaden and dilate the back space of the body without compressing the front space, right? I still want to see if I can broaden those collarbones too. And then find a focal point so that as you transition into eagle pose, it can be as seamless as you can, right? So you can sit back, find your balance if you want to use your toe as a kickstand. And this is nested eagle. So we sit as far back in a squat as we can, and then we tuck it on in. And I'm going to do my best to let the neck drape. So I'm going to find inner thigh strength, arm strength, neck relaxes. Okay, one more breath. Then you're going to unravel all of it and stand tall. Inhale. And on the exhale, forward fold. Long spine. Come all the way back to downward facing dog. Take a moment or two to breathe, and it's that same work we did 3 times total where you're coming into side plank. And maybe wrap down. I'm staying strong in my right shoulder. Lift up. Maybe there's a little bit of back arch here. Transition second side. Exhale. Inhale, maybe a little back arch. 2 more times. Again, I'm showing you could go knees down. So stay with whatever allows you to focus that breath. And then last time, plank pose. And then coming into your vinyasa or cat-cow, and then I'm doing the hovering cobra where the heart lifts, the shoulders walk back, the legs lift. And then plank pose to down dog. Couple moments to find your breath. Then you're gonna step the right leg forward. And we're gonna come into that lunge. So it could be hands forward and we just kind of cap the back and draw it in, finding the core strength, front leg, or if you'd like to wrap your hands around your ankle and kind of pull yourself in. That might help you stabilize your ankle. Want you to feel that deep kind of lunge in that right leg. Strong and steady anchoring from the heel to the ball mound. Soft jaw. Then step forward and fold. Long spine. Fold on in. All the way up. Hands to the heart. Take a couple of breaths just to notice what you're sensing in your body. Just kind of tune in, check in. Again, our practice, if we notice any of those lingering kind of mind stuff, emotional stuff, we just notice it, name it if you want, and then just intend to release it. Kind of let the movement rinse it out of your body. Arms reach up, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Long spine, inhale. Step on back to that lunge again. This time we're gonna reach the arms up for a moment, get long, and then we're gonna exhale, pour open the chest. We're gonna let those arms reach back. So the wrists go back, and we're just holding here, kind of lifting the chest a bit. Take a deep breath, and you're gonna find a bind or hands on your waist. If binding doesn't work, we're gonna open the chest a little further, kind of reaching the knuckles towards our kneecap, and then we're gonna fold. So as I fold, I'm gonna let the clasp move away from my shoulder blades so I remain open through my chest. Now take another deep breath, and then tuck your back toes under and pop into warrior one as best as you can. If that doesn't work, you can reset. First couple of breaths to anchor in warrior one. Know that you can stay uplifted if that feels better for your body, or you can come forward like a long spine, or you can come into humble warrior. But if we come into humble warrior, reduce, kind of eliminate the roll of the shoulder forward, keep moving it up and back. So if that means hands stay at the waist, so you can maintain that open chest, do that, or the arms reaching back, right? You can also use a strap. Couple more breaths. And then as you're ready, we're gonna lift up, and we're gonna step forward. We're gonna squat. So this is kind of a funny, I'm gonna turn towards you so you can see me. I'm gonna keep the open chest, so my front shoulders stay open. Remember, you can stay here. And then, but I'm gonna dive forward. So I'm gonna do a little bit of abdominal work. So abdominal work, but I keep the chest open. So see if you can pair those equal and opposites. Open chest, but I'm doing that abdominal work of ribs to hips. 3 more breaths. Remember, you can use a strap or hands at your waist. Release the bind, straighten the legs, inhale, reach up. On the exhale, fold forward. Long spine. Step on back to downward facing dog. And then pause here for a moment. We're gonna roll our way into a plank pose, but it has a little bit of a smile at the chest. So I lift my chest without dropping my hips too much. Then I'm gonna puff up the upper back and roll right back. So I'm gonna lift the hips a little higher, unravel, and then the chest lifts a bit forward. I might look forward, then I lift the upper chest and come back. You have one more time. And then all the way back. This time come forward to plank. And if you'd like to take your chaturanga, do that. If you want a cat-cow, do that. This time I'm gonna go locust pose, maybe even bound. And then all the way up and back, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Step your left leg forward between your hands for a lunge. Take your hands to your waist, elbows back and down, and drop through that right thigh. So as your hands kind of weight the pelvis down so you feel anchored in your legs, can you lift your heart space out of that so that you feel a little bit more buoyant through the upper half of your body? Take another deep breath. And as you exhale, step all the way to the top of the mat. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhaling, hands to the heart. Second side, arms up. All the way down. Lift up. Then you step your left leg back. Low lunge. So the arms reach up for a moment, and then we kind of pour the heart space open as we let the thumb line rotate slightly back. So make sure you're not compressing the low back. So there's a lift up before we go back. There's generous weighting in both of my legs to support this. Then as you're ready, either hands to the waist or find that clasp, big stretch here, and then a humble warrior. Breathing in and out. Tucking your back toes, preparing yourself to lift up to a warrior one. And again, most likely you'll have to resituate. Take a couple breaths to decide if you need to switch the hands, use a strap, something else. Big breath in. You can choose your own adventure, so you could stay here. Maybe I just go down halfway, and maybe I fully go down. Stay weighted in that back leg. Keep allowing the heart space to stay open, so we don't lose that. Big breath. And then slowly coming up, stepping your left leg to meet your right, and you're in that squat. So I'm going to show you the side profile this time. So once again, I find the open chest. That's the main point here. So if it's better to have your hands at your waist to keep that free, do that. And then exhale, we fold. So I'm just allowing the rib cage and the hips to get closer, but I still maintain open chest, soft and easy neck. Maybe it's a deeper squat. 3 more cycles of breath. And then exhale, fold it on down. Long spine all the way back to downward facing dog. 3 times, again, the rippling action of lifting heels, rolling your way to a slightly lifted chest and plank, and then lifting and coming all the way back. Stay connected to your core. All the way back. One more time. And then all the way back. Then this time, again, you can go through a vinyasa traditionally if you'd like. You want to eliminate that and come to downward facing dog, please do that. All the way back. So we're going to step the right leg forward and come into that lunge. So take your time, hands at the waist, elbows back and down. So again, I'm going to allow myself to root into my legs. That back can be generously bent. Then I'm going to lift up a bit so that I'm a little bit lighter in the upper half of my body. 3 more big breaths. Yeah. Then as you're ready, look forward, find that focal point, step forward. Release your arms, take a couple breathers. Just kind of noticing how you feel. Move anything that needs to shake out or move out. You got it. Okay, arms are going to stretch up. Then as we exhale, forward fold. Long spine, inhale. Step on back to plank pose. Then as you're ready, we're going to take our knees to the mat, untuck our toes for a moment, and as we drop the hips, we're going to lift the chest. So this is a supported upward facing dog. For a moment, bend your elbows wide and wrap them in. Push the floor away and lift from your belly out through your chest. If this feels good and you don't have any compression in your low back, go ahead and tuck your toes, lift your thighs. If you need to keep the knees down, keep the knees down. For 3, for 2, And as you're ready, come into plank, downward facing dog. Breathing in, breathing out. So we're gonna get this more of the side of the body now. So as you're ready, you're gonna step that right leg forward, spin your back heel flat, and come into triangle pose from the ground up. I'm gonna recommend a block if you have it. If you don't, it's totally fine. If you wanna start with your hand at your waist, go ahead and do that to make sure you have your core active, legs active, and then just turning just the chest to face up a bit. So I'm not necessarily moving my hips, I'm moving my chest. I can let my head go or I can look down. If my arm can follow, there's a little bit of a back arch here. Just a little. But again, I like looking down for this option while I'm opening the chest. Couple more breaths. Really trying to open up from your chest through your palm. Can you feel a continuous line of energy from the left side of the chest all the way out through your palm? From thumb line to pinky line. Track that with your imagery, kind of in your mind's eye. Take another deep breath. Nice work. Bend that right knee and then take that arm down towards the floor, forward thumb up, and then turn the waist so that you have a side angle pose. Now the palm is facing down. Then as you push away with the left foot, reach through your right arm and get that whole side seam. Keep those legs strong. Keep that reach away from your back foot so that whole side body gets activated. Okay, one more breath. Then pressing into those legs, come into a reverse warrior. Straighten your front leg. We're gonna revisit triangle now, but now it's with a different kind of approach. So just kind of watch me. I'm gonna use a block, but I'm gonna hang. So instead of having a long spine, now I have a rounded spine. If I can grab the back leg, sometimes that's a nice little anchor point. Breathe. Really let the wrist draw energy out of the lower shoulder, the side body. Let the head be heavy for 3. Find those strong legs, 2. Rebend the right knee, warrior 2. A lot of leg work, huh? Breathe. Then drop the arms. Just stay in those legs. Shake the shoulders out. Yeah. Shimmy them out a bit. And then take your arms back out. For a moment, extend from your heart line through your thumb line. Like get longer. Now from the back of your body, extend through your pinky line. And then through both sides, can you extend equal and opposite? Awesome. Stay where you are. I'm just going to move my block. Turn your right toes to face forward. The arms come up. Left arm goes to the left thigh, and we reach up and over to the left. You can look down. You can look up. You can look straight ahead. Press your right foot away and keep reaching through your right side seam. All right, right arm comes down, left arm comes up. We get really long. It's okay to lift that shoulder and up and over to the right. Let the head go. All right, arms coming all the way down. Just watch this, and then we're just gonna go into a flow for a moment. You'll go as slow as you want. We're gonna turn the body to be in a lunge, and we're gonna breathe up. And as we breathe and have the arms come down, we're gonna transition to the other side. And then come up, and then come down, and then it's a little transition. It can be at whatever speed you want it to be. Just a few times. Really using the breath. Letting the arms feel almost weightless because the body is being moved by the core and the strength of your legs. So let's do one more time on each side. And then the next time you end with your right leg forward. We're gonna stay in that lunge. So staying in that lunge can be hands on the thigh, letting the hips release forward, and just maybe it's gonna be a longer lunge. If you feel like you could take your hand to the back of your head and kind of lift up and maybe lean on back, maybe that's a great place to go. Maybe both hands wanna go. Maybe the arms wanna reach back. So I want you just to kind of play with your expression here. Kind of lifting the head up and away, letting the head fall back into the hands. There's a lot of lift out of the hips, out of the core. One more breath. And as you're ready, slowly releasing. Maybe a little lunge for a moment just to allow the spine to settle. And then plank through your vinyasa, whatever that looks like. You can repeat any of the shapes. Downward facing dog is where we'll meet. So I'm just going to reorient myself in my mat so that I'm facing not away from you. 2 more breaths, big breaths. We're going to step the left leg forward. Come into your warrior 2 legs. I liked that block for this one if you can. As you straighten the front leg and our hand comes to the waist, we turn up. So as you reorient to this, find your core, let the hips do what they need to do, and then open through the chest. So it's just kind of up through the side ribs that I'm turning. I can just do this with my hands here to kind of lift. Maybe the arm goes up, but I don't have to follow with my gaze. So I'm letting, again, the right side of my chest extend all the way through my palm. And if I can't necessarily feel that in the muscles and the tissues, then I just want to trace that with my mind. What would that feel like, or what would that path look like? And that's how subtle energy kind of travels, is that we first just kind of have to send it there with our mind. As you're ready, rebend the left knee, or bend the left knee, I should say. Circle the arm down in front of your face, first thumb up, like you're reaching to shake someone's hand. Then as you roll the right rib cage up, your palm will face down. Now generously press the right foot away as your right arm reaches away from that action. I want you to really feel that whole right side seam stretch. If you don't have a block, elbow to thigh can be really helpful. So straight spine if you can. Couple more breaths. Then we're going to reverse our warrior. So tip up and back just for a brief moment. Straighten that front leg. And this is the different triangle where we hang. So again, I was showing you could reach towards your back leg with your left arm. That requires a decent amount of core strength, right? Otherwise, you're going to feel your low back here. And it's okay if you turn more towards your front thigh. I just want that arm to be weightless. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more full cycle. Then as you're ready, bend the knee and then come into warrior 2. Awesome. So a moment just setting it up and then letting your arms drop. Maybe some shoulder rolls or shakes. Kind of dissipating any tension or heaviness that you have in the chest. And then as you're ready, either from the ground up or from the top down. Now from the thumb line, reaching away from the sternum, the front chest. From the back of the heart line, reaching to the pinky line. And then both at the same time. You can look forward if you'd like. Settle in for another breath. Then we're going to pivot. I'm just going to move my block so that both toes face forward. This time, if you'd like to use both hands at a time, you can. If you liked one hand down, it felt more supportive, keep that. Arms reach up and then over to the side. Doesn't matter which side, we're going to do both. Use that bottom arm to re-lengthen the top arm a little further. Arms reach up. On the exhale, second side. You might bend that arm again to give a little bit more space. Breathe in and out. Drop it down. So for a moment, I just want you to kind of shake the arms out and sway side to side. So my toes are turned out a bit. My knees face the center of my foot. And I want you to literally just shake out from your shoulders to your wrist. We'll go back into that lunge thing, but do a couple shakes in between so that that shakes into a twist, and then you might rock and roll a few times. You can be fast or slow, and then again, shake. And then over to the second side. It can be fast, you guys, or it can be slow. This is a good place to check in with where you are and what speed feels like it kind of calms your body, feels resonant for you. We'll do 2 more, and when we get back to that left side, being our front leg, that's where we'll stop. So when we get to the left side, where we're going to hold the lunge. So setting it up so that we can feel the hips release down and forward with a little bit of lift up out of that low belly without gripping, right? So the way I kind of feel that is I imagine myself just lighter on my pelvis. Right hand comes behind your head. And I'm going to start to lift up and then a little lean back. But I'm really using my hand to lift out of the cervical spine. Maybe it's 2 arms. Breathe for 3, for 2. Then as you're ready, it could just be that a lunge would feel nice for your low back. Your kind of reset. And then vinyasa of choice, cat-cow always works, holding plank works. Then we're going to meet in downward facing dog. Take some breaths. You can open it off, exhale, or bubble your lips, or sigh, all those good things. Then as you're ready, put those knees on the mat. We're going to find ourselves in a seat. So I'm going to show you a shape that we're going to get in towards. So I'm going to put my right shin forward. My left leg can do whatever. It can be really close to my foot, or it can go way back. Not so much that it's important. If you have something to prop yourself up, like a block or books or pillows, that's going to be nice for this. So option 1 is to just come forward, and maybe it's the forearms down. You're going to come straight forward. If it's possible to come towards your foot, try that. You can even kind of set your elbow maybe on a block closer to your knee. If it's possible to get your upper arm bone to your shin bone, do that. And then I'll press the palms together, and I'll press down into my shin to roll up and back. Letting my head go. Some of you can do a half bind, that might feel good. Kind of roll the chest open. We're going to be here for about 5 long, deep breaths. So again, finding something that works. So if none of those work, right, you can still fold. I could decide that I'm going to come towards a twist. You know, just play around with it if those positions aren't working for you. It's kind of a precarious position here. Big breaths, settling into the sensation, whatever it is that you're finding. And then as you're ready, look down first. Use your hands to come up. For a moment. Both feet down, hands face forward or out, depending on your body. Lift your chest. Integrity through the low back, so we're not rounding. And then we're going to lift up into altar pose. If it feels good for you, extend your legs, point your toes. Incline plane. Shake that neck out. The neck tends to get a little tight in this one, so you can even gaze at your belly if that's better for your neck. One more breath. And then the hips come down. Shake the legs out, and we're going to go side 2. So that left shin bone comes forward. The knee goes wherever in space it feels good. Feel free to sit on something. Remember, you can just come forward and round. You can come towards your foot. I could even take a kind of a more of a uplifted, I didn't show that, but you could be here. If you can get the upper arm to the lower shin, go ahead.
Is it elbow or the knee that's in front?
Or your hip, either one, yeah. Yeah, so you're just basically propping whatever would feel like it allows you to relax. This is a weird position, I know. And then 5 really big breaths to release wherever you are, right? Just a kind of an interesting hip pose. It's weird. Let the neck go. The most important thing you can do is just really breathe into, you know, the discomfort of being in a weird pose, the uncertainty of this pose, deep sensation, whatever, no sensation, right? Remember any emotions that surface, we acknowledge them, and then we just say, I'm just ready to release it, letting you go. And then as you're ready, looking down, using your hands, coming up. Reset the spine by having feet flat. Remember, just here is fine, still challenging, still opens the chest. If you feel ready to straighten the legs, we set it up the same, proud chest, long back, and then coming on up. Perfect. Hips. Okay. So finding a final back bending shape. So a lot of ways you can do that. So kneeling cobra, I'm sorry, kneeling camel. You can keep it super simple. It doesn't have to be a huge back bend. Hands at the waist. You might lift up and back here, just like this. I can support my head. I really like this out of wall space. So if I want to use a wall space, I would let my hips come flush to the wall. This gives me a little support. I might even use hands on blocks. Okay? We did upward dog. You could do a full upward dog. Cobra, right? Any back bend of choice. I want you to take either 2 rounds, 5 breaths each, or a longer hold. Remember, shoulders away from ears, broadening across the chest space. As you're doing this pose, I want you to kind of really allow your heart space to draw in your breath, to feel light and free. So put that intention there just to open up. You're halfway there, so either take a break, restart in a moment, or keep going. Nice, and then come on back, take a break. So either sitting on your heels, down dog, right, you need to reset. Okay, so I want to do a little exercise to kind of, again, move some energy there. So just take a seat wherever you are. Take a moment to just put your awareness around your heart space. And if you can, put your awareness not just to the front, but also the back and the sides. I want you to think of something that lights your heart up. For most of us, that's either someone we love, something we love. It can be an animal, something that you love doing that makes you joyful. If there's something funny that's happened lately that you can recall to mind that kind of makes you smile and lighten up, I want you to call in that energy and kind of imagine that it's like this healing salve you're going to put on your heart space. So again, something you love, something that you really feel a deep sense of gratitude or joy for, something you love doing that feels light and free and joyful. Maybe it's something funny. Humor is a great elixir for the soul. Take a couple more breaths in of whatever it is that you're drawing in. And again, it's like we just bring it in and we kind of like let it come all over our body. And then you're going to have one more back bend. Noticing the difference between your first back bend, where you did that, just going right in, and then the back bend in which you've kind of given yourself an energy boost. Let's see how it turns out. So when you're ready, I'm going to show you the back bend blocks. So again, 2 sets of 5 or a longer set of 1. And then when you're ready to come up and reset your spine however you need. So for some of us, that's just sitting. It could be all 4s, down dog. Just take a moment. Notice what that was like, what your experience was like. And then when you're ready, we're gonna come onto our back. Coming onto your back, cross your right leg over your left like you're sitting cross-legged in a chair, and then bring your legs towards you, grabbing onto the kind of bottoms of the kneecaps or the ankles. You can grab the ankles, you can pull the legs apart a bit. Feel free to rock. So I highly recommend in the next couple days, that sensation that you drew in from being around someone that you love, or the things that you love, or the laughter, can you feed yourself as much of that as possible in the next few days? So whether it's an activity or people that you can be with that feel like that. You have permission for recreation, fun, joy, all that, being like a project. So let go of your feet, move your hips over to the right a bit, and then drop them towards the left. You want a block or something underneath your bottom thigh, go ahead. So maybe the arms want to open, maybe that's too much. You can place your palm down, looking up or to the side. 5 breaths. Smooth, steady breaths. Using your core, maybe even your hands to lift up and then uncross. Left leg over right. Bring the legs towards you. Either bringing the legs towards your chest or separating the ankles. I like rocking. Stillness might work better for you. Then the hands are going to come down to brace a bit. The hips lift up and to the left just to give yourself more range. Drop to the right. Remember, shouldering your legs on a block of blankets and pillows can be really nice. And then 5 long, deep, luscious breaths. Using your hands to brace. Let the legs come up. Separate them. You might like a happy baby or grabbing onto the ankles just to separate a bit. Feeling the inner thighs open. Choosing a final shape that would work for you, whether that's knees wide, arms open. If you have your blocks and you'd like to rest on your blocks, you can make a little block pile, like the letter T, where I could allow my spine to have most of the block, my sacral, my iliac joints off, and then my head's here. So that can be a nice one. Move the block up. If you don't have blocks, but you want to roll a blanket, you can rest on the blanket with your spine, giving your neck a little something. So just a couple minutes just to allow yourself to reset. So for the first couple breaths, can you just put your awareness at your heart space and ask yourself to give yourself permission to receive in some kind of healing energy that I'm going to send you through some aromatherapy, through some intention. So I'm going to give you a little spritz. This is release. This is a great spray if you have it right now, or otherwise just take it in with your breath.
Without even moving, can you imagine your heart smiling? Can you bring a smile to your face? Placing your hands at your heart, take a couple breaths to notice how you feel in your heart center. Just emotions, energy, mood, right? Anything you feel physical, whatever you notice. And then if you want to move again, wiggle your fingers or toes, take your time rolling to the side of your body before you come up. When you come up, you can place your hands in any position, either together on your heart, on your legs, in a way that gives your attention to your body, to your presence, that honors your wisdom. Take a breath in, breath out. One more breath in. One more breath out. Namaste.